morning, everyone, and welcome to our community conversations with the partnership. Today, I am Lamisha Staten, the Community Outreach Manager for the Partnership for Children of Guilford County here in our office is located in Greensboro. We are so excited to see all of you here with us today, and we want to thank all of you who continue to join with us for our conversations and events that we have here online. We're so very appreciative to you. We are so excited. We have been building up to this event for several days now since before the holiday for our Cooking Virtually with Chef John LaTour, who is with us today from Healthy Families, Healthy Futures. We're so excited to have him join with us today as we have a virtual cooking class. We've never done this before here at the partnership, so we're stepping into new territory, and we are so happy to have Chef John with us this morning. He has worked with numerous partnerships across the state of North Carolina and other agencies here in the state, and is continuing to do great work here in North Carolina and beyond. And so we are just so grateful to have his expertise as he comes to teach us today some wonderful recipes. And I'm going to share with you the recipes he'll be cooking with us today. We'll have a pumpkin black bean soup, a modified purple power bean wrap, and an Asian asparagus salad. So we're excited about it. I've got my kitchen apron on. I'm ready to go. And we're just going to have some fun this morning, okay? So without further ado, we're going to turn it over to Chef John, but I do want to make one quick announcement for parents who are wanting to apply for NC Pre-K. We are accepting applications for the upcoming school year. So for the school year beginning 2021-2022, beginning in August of this year, we are accepting applications. So if you have a child that will be 4 years old before August 31st of this year, you can now apply for NC Pre-K. You can find the application on our website, and that is at guilfordchildren.org. You'll find more information there. We also want to make mention, we have an outreach survey, feedback survey that is out on our Facebook page. We do invite you, if you have other ideas for events that you would like to see, or if you would like for us to get in contact with you, please complete our outreach survey. We have the information on our page, and we'll post the link also on our in our comment section. Feel free at any time if you have questions as Chef John is presenting this morning. Feel free to jot your comments or questions in the comment section. We are monitoring those, and we'll pose your questions as we are having the presentation this morning. So again, without further ado, we're going to turn it over to Chef John. He's getting ready in his kitchen. And Chef John, we're just excited to have you this morning.
Well, thank you, Alicia. Thank you so much for having me. Good morning, everyone. I am Chef John from Healthy Families, Healthy Futures. I'm here today to just talk about some great food that we're going to make. Hopefully, you can use these either in your center kitchens or in your family's kitchen. We're going to have a good time. If you have questions as we go, please ask. It doesn't have to be about what we're cooking today. It could be about pretty much anything when it comes to healthy eating. I've been doing this for a while now, and I've worked with a lot of the partnerships along the way, and we're super excited to now include Guilford County as part of our partners as well. So today I'm going to get started. We're going to do just a real quick asparagus, Asian-inspired asparagus salad, really fast, 3-4 ingredients, can be done really quickly. And I'm probably going to shift my camera back and forth, so I'm going to move my camera down too so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to start with some fresh asparagus. This is about a pound. Now, asparagus, a lot of people that I don't like asparagus. I did this recipe for another partnership, and the folks there came back and said, wow, I really like asparagus now, Chef John. Asparagus can grow wild, but mostly it's farm raised. You want to take off the ends, and you can just break it, and it'll break in the spot that you don't want to eat. So you don't want to eat this part because it's kind of tough. So I'm going to throw those over there. We're going to do these. We're going to blanch these. We're not going to cook them. One of the things about asparagus is that they get a little slimy if you cook them too much.
Yeah.
So I don't cook mine too much. I just blanch them. I also like to grill them. They're really good on the grill, but just for a few minutes.
Okay.
And so you get really you want to get the flavor of the asparagus and not just a mess. And then I'm going to cut these one more time. You can leave these like this. And I'm going to be real honest with you. If you have toddlers, they love to just chew on this. Um,
Wow.
they can eat this really well. It's not a problem. But I'm going to cut it one more time, kind of on the diagonal, like
Okay.
that. And you can just a couple of cuts. You don't have to do it this way, but it's going to make it a little easier to cook with. And we're going to blanch these. And blanching is just, it's not really cooking them. It's really just to bring out the color. Because you can tell they're a little, if you can see that, they're just a little faded. They're a little light. So I'm going to go over here. I've got a pot of water boiling, and I'm just going to go put them in my pot of water for just a few minutes, about 1 to 3 minutes. And while they're blanching, and then I'm going to take them out and put them in some cold water. While they're blanching, I'm going to go ahead and make my dressing for my salad. And I'm using just basically 3 ingredients. I'm using some avocado oil because I like it. The recipe says olive oil, which is also fine. But I just have more avocado oil at my house than I have olive oil. A little bit of sugar. I believe this is about 2 teaspoons of sugar. You could use stevia. You could use monk fruit. You could use anything like that. And then I've got, this is tamari. And tamari is a gluten-free soy sauce. Okay. And this is a low sodium version. Chef John's all about not using a lot of salt. You'll see that in my recipes today. But this is called tamari, and you can buy it in the grocery store. It's not an exotic product at all. And then I'm just going to dump that in there, and it's gluten free. A lot of people don't know that soy sauce is not gluten free.
I had no idea about that. And do you think that the avocado oil, is that tentatively a little bit healthier than the olive oil?
Yeah, well, avocado is a good source of fat, and
Okay.
so what you get with that is you get the fat, the healthy fat in the
Okay.
avocado oil. It also has a higher what they call smoke point, which means you can saute with it. I hardly ever saute in olive oil. I
Okay.
just don't. And it's also a neutral tasting oil, so you don't get that olive oil taste in your food. So if you're making like a salad dressing or like a fruit-based dressing where you might need a little oil in it, this works really, really good. You can also use vegetable oil too, but I've been using avocado oil for quite a while, and it works really, really well for dressings and things like that. So now I've blanched out my asparagus. I'm going to go check them real quick. I've got a pot of water. Oh yeah. And I'm just putting these in cold water. And you can put them on ice or whatever. It's really yours. I want you to see the difference in it.
So when you put the asparagus on the cold water or the ice, that stops the cooking process?
Yeah, that'll stop the cooking process. So I want you
Okay.
to see, I don't know if you can see this now. Yeah, I
Yes.
just kept a couple of pieces. If you
Okay.
can see the difference.
Wow.
This is
Yeah.
one I blanched, and this is one that just came out of the, so see, it just brings out the color, makes them real pretty.
That's beautiful.
So, and you can do that with a lot of things. You can do that with green beans. You can do that with anything. So I'm going to take a Ziploc bag, real easy, and I'm just going to take my asparagus, and I just had them in the cold water for just a minute just to stop the cooking. And I'm going to drain them off, and I'm going to put them in this bag, and then I'm going to put my dressing on top. I'm going to put them in the refrigerator, and I'm done.
Wow, that
Real
is
easy.
very easy.
Real easy. And then when I'm ready to serve, I'll pull them out, and I'll just get them out of the bag, and we'll go from there. Real easy, real super. And if you had to do this for a lot of kids, really no problem. I got a little sesame seed here. I'm going to put that in.
Okay.
I'm going to put in my dressing really fast. Yeah, there's my spatula. Can you guys see this really well?
Yep, that's
good?
Yeah, we can see that really good.
Good. All right. And you don't dress this real heavy. That wasn't a lot of dressing. And then I'm going to put my sesame seeds on top of that. I'm
Okay.
not going to put them all in there because I'm going to save some for service. And I'm just going to put them in my Ziploc and off we're done. And we'll just massage that a little bit, get that
Yeah.
dressing to go around. And you can certainly add more. I mean, if you wanted to double the, if you wanted a little more dressing on it, that's fine. Um, one thing, one thing that I tell everybody when I give you recipes,
Mm-hmm.
make them your own.
Right.
Um, be sure. I mean, I always make it every time I get a new recipe or I write a new recipe or I invent one. I make it that way first time, and then I go, well, what can I do differently with it?
Right.
So feel free to you could add something to this. You could add more dressing. You could add less. The
Yeah.
blanching technique is really the one thing that I wanted to take away from this, so that you can see how to bring the color, the vibrant color, out
Right.
in the vegetables without having to cook them.
Right.
Children eat with their eyes. We all eat with our eyes. Children love
Mm-hmm.
colors,
That's true.
and so that bright green makes it a whole lot more appealing than the little green like this.
Right.
So it might get them to try it. Asparagus might be something that little children might not necessarily, young children may not necessarily want to try, but
Mm-hmm.
encourage them to do so.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of vitamins in it, a lot of vitamin D, C, and so and it's great fiber. And we
Right.
all know what fiber does to our bodies. It helps kind of use the natural process of our bodies to eliminate some of the bad things like sugar and
Right.
salt and carbohydrates out of the body. So if you eat a
Wow.
diet that's rich in green, that's what really is going to help. So this is my asparagus salad ready to go. I'm going to just
Wow.
throw it in your refrigerator.
And that's such a fun way to introduce for those of us that don't eat asparagus on a regular basis. This is a fun way to introduce that vegetable to our children. Um,
Absolutely,
a quick,
absolutely.
yeah, a quick asparagus salad that's healthy and has the dressing, and then the addition with the sesame seeds. I
Yep,
love it. It's a quick and easy recipe.
yep. Very quick, very easy. You can do it. I mean, what that took for 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was quick.
All right, so now we're going to make. We're going to do our soup.
Okay.
I am a big soup guy. I eat soup, and I think this is something most chefs do. Um, most chefs eat whatever they have in their coolers or in their refrigerators. They don't cook a whole lot for themselves, and I don't cook. I'm big on cooking the leftovers. I'm sorry I keep walking off the camera, but I'm gonna get my
That's okay.
pot. Go back here. All right. So yeah, I'm big on cooking leftovers, and soup is the best way to get rid of your leftovers.
That's true.
I can turn anything into a soup.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get started on this. I have to put some of it on the stove, but I'm just going to go ahead and put it all together and then we just cook it that way.
Okay.
So I'm going to take a little bit of oil right away. Grab my oil fast.
This is the perfect time for soup.
Yeah, it's a great time. And in the summer, I use a lot of fruit and make gazpachos and things like that. Cold soups are amazingly good, especially like melon, watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew.
Oh, yeah.
Those make great soups, cold soups. And the cool thing about that is that you can blend it up with some ice and make
Okay.
slushies, or
Oh, nice.
you can freeze it and make popsicles and things like that with it. So there's a lot of ways to take that and go with it. So I'm going to take my my green. This is really a throw together. This is some green onion
Okay.
bottoms and the light green parts. And I'm not going to use all of that because that's a lot. And then I'm going to take my my red pepper. This is just one red pepper that I diced. I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to go throw this in the. I'm going to go throw this in the. This is the thing. It's one pot. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything extra special. Put it all in one pot and go with it.
Right.
And then pumpkin this time of year is real plentiful. There was a shortage early on,
Wow.
but it all came around. And this is just a can of regular pumpkin puree.
Okay.
You can do this soup if you want, guys, with sweet potatoes. You can do it with butternut squash. but you'll have to cook them, just kind of boil them up a little bit and then mash them really good so that
Okay.
they're kind of like this. But you can do it the same way.
Oh
You put it
yeah.
in your blender or your food processor and just make a big pulp out of it. And then I'm also using some I always use unsalted chicken stock or unsalted stock altogether. Uh,
Yeah.
I have gotten hypertension is one of the, well, since before COVID, hypertension is one of the leading causes of heart disease
That's
in the
true.
country, high blood pressure, and it affects a large segments of our community. So what I've done, I actually had high blood pressure myself at one time. About
Yeah.
9% of America will have some type of high blood pressure issue in their lifetime. And so I wanted to get off the medicine. I didn't want to take high blood pressure medicine. So I just quit eating salt altogether. And well, as much as I can. I didn't eat a lot of processed foods, which is where a lot of the salt comes from. Your deli meats, your pizza, that sort of thing. So I just kind of quit. So everything that I buy in the stores makes my life nuts.
Right.
Things like what we did here with the black beans and the beans in the next recipe. And then the stock, I always try to get the unsalted version. Most stores have it. You just have to kind of look for it sometimes. But the reason why I can do that, now I can add salt to this recipe, right? But I'm controlling the salt that goes into the recipe, not the food manufacturers, not Swanson's, not Goya, or whoever you get your Great Value, or whoever you get your stock beans from. So I control how much salt I put in. So my vegetables are sauteing off. I'm going to let that happen just a couple of minutes. I'm not going to go long because we can let the soup sit for as long as you want. I have one can of diced tomatoes.
Okay.
No salt added again. You could, if you wanted to spice this up a little bit, you could use Rotel,
Okay.
white Rotel. You could add some chopped jalapenos to this. Lots of ways to do this. If you wanted to make just a pumpkin soup, I thought about this the other day, and I haven't really tried it, but I know it would work well. You could get your little your pumpkin pie spice out and make it a sweeter soup than if you would if you're making a savory soup like we're doing. I'm going to bring my pot back over here since I kind of sweated out my this is just my green onions and my red peppers. And then you just add, basically you just add the rest of the ingredients. I've got a little bit of cumin, give it kind of that Latin Mexican flavor. I've got a little bit of chili powder because I like a little spice in my food. That's one of the things that if you're trying to cut down on the salt in your diet is use more spices. This is a little garlic, a couple of cloves of garlic that I chopped up. So I'm just going to add all that in here. And my pot's still hot from being over here. I could have used a burner on this side, but my pot's still hot. So I'm going to get all that in there and stir it up really good so you guys can see. Now my pot's well used. That's what the bottom looks like when you use them almost every day. So don't pay any attention to that. All right. I'm going to add next. I didn't use the water in this. I'm just going to use the chicken stock. I'm using chicken stock here instead. And this is about a cup and a half instead of the water. About 14 ounces. So I'm going to add about half of this. And then I can always add more. So I'm just kind of going to deglaze the pan a little bit with the stock. I'm going to add my pumpkin.
Okay.
I'm going to add my pumpkin here really good. This is great flavors, guys. We're building a great flavor profile here with the sweet of the pumpkins and the protein of the black beans and the tomatoes. Add that acidic flavor to it. So here's my tomatoes going in. I didn't drain the tomatoes at all. I did drain the black beans and rinse them. Here's my black beans, guys. This is 2 cans of black beans. Notice that they've been drained and rinsed. That's the other thing. If you can't get, these are no sodium added as well. If you can't get the no sodium beans, regardless of what type they are, make sure you drain them and rinse them out really, really good. You can get a lot of that salt out. Canned foods are going to have a lot of salt by nature. So I'm going to stir this. Now, if you don't want to use, I use 2 cans of black beans. You don't have to use 2 cans. I just like it better that way. So when I wrote this recipe, I said use 2 cans. You could use 2 cans of pumpkin and 1 can of black beans, or you could use 2 cans of pumpkins and 2 cans of black beans. It doesn't really make a lot of difference. It's just your preference. Okay, you could add more tomatoes. You could add rotel. I'm going to add a little more chicken stock to this. If you don't want to add stock, certainly add some water to it. It's okay. Like I said, make these recipes your own, to your taste and your family's taste or your children's taste at the center. Soup is great. I love soup this time of year, like we talked about earlier. We made chili this week. I had my college-age kids home for a while. I'm just going to put that on the stove. We ate a lot of soup because that's what they like to eat now. They eat a lot of that. So I'm going to put that on the stove and just let it cook for a little while we do the last recipe. And then we'll plate everything up. The last one takes a little bit longer than the soup. But see how easy that was? And we've been on about 20 minutes. And I've already made a salad and a soup. Just like
Chef
that.
John.
Yes, hi.
Hi, this is Kim. I just had a quick question. Sometimes you make a big old pot of soup and you have some left over. How long would you say that soup could stay in the refrigerator?
It just depends, Kim, on what it is. If it's got a meat in it, I would go maybe 3-4 days. If it's all vegetables, you could go up to a week. You can also freeze it. This soup here freezes really well. So you could put it in a freezer bag, just like it is, lay it down flat, and put it in the freezer. Pull it out, throw it in the microwave, or throw it in a pot of hot water, and you got soup.
That's great.
So yeah, I would say if there's meat in there, I use chicken stock here. You could use vegetable stock, but I'd give it about 3-4 days in the refrigerator. Usually at my house, it doesn't last that long. We eat it up pretty quick. So, but yeah, 3-4 days tops. You get about 3 good meals out of it, out of a pot like that. If it's 2 people or 4, maybe 2 meals. But that's a good question. Food safety is very important. So knowing what to refrigerate and what to freeze, and how to do it properly is a very good thing to know. I do a couple of classes on food waste, and where we teach people the use by, sell by, and best by, why those things are there and how to work around them appropriately. And then we talk about safe food handling, especially for center staff who don't necessarily get that training otherwise. So kind of keep that in mind. If you guys ever need a class on that, I'm glad to come and do it.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna let this simmer, guys. Nothing much going on with it. Just gonna kind of watch it. I brought it up to a boil. I'm gonna keep my stock over here in case it suddenly gets dry. I don't think it's gonna. Then we're gonna do the last one. The last one takes a little bit. So our next recipe is, it said on there modified purple pie. I've done this recipe so many times that I've changed it and I'm going to change it around and do it differently. This is a good testament to how versatile it is. So there's a lot you can do with it. I'm getting all the stuff here I need. And this one too is also good for young children because it's a wrap. Finger food is what they want to eat with their fingers, and so let them. That's okay. They don't have to learn how to use a knife and fork today. So this is going to be pretty easy to do. We're gonna use again some no sodium white Great Northern beans. I like these because they have a thinner skin. People say, well, can you use garbanzos and chickpeas? Yes, you can, but you just have to process them in your food processor a lot more because they have a skin on them. These are pretty thin skin. We're going to use an avocado, which is a real good fat, which is a healthy fat, and we're going to put the two together to make kind of a spread. And I'm using purple cabbage. I love the colors. Remember, again, we want to try to eat the rainbow every day. right? So I just took a purple cabbage that I had left over from making something else, and I just kind of shredded it with my knife to make little strands. If you don't want to, if you can't get purple cabbage and you don't have it, you can use slaw mix. Real easy, real easy. It has some purple cabbage in it, some carrots and that sort of thing, but this will work the very same way. And we're going to use whole wheat tortillas. I'm trying to make sure I get this on camera. Whole wheat tortillas. These are low in carb, but it's whole wheat. And those of you that are on CACFP, that's important as well. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do with this one is I've already washed all my produce, by the way, except for my spinach, which I'll do before we finish. And I'm also using fresh spinach today as opposed to lettuce. If you have romaine lettuce, that's fine. I like the darker greens much better, and that's fine. But lettuce works just as well. Romaine work. I've done it both ways. And if you notice, I also have some yellow, red peppers and some shredded carrots. So we're gonna put all this in here. And look at how colorful this is, guys. The more colorful fruits and vegetables you can eat, the more nutrition you're going to get from it. So that's very, very important. All right, so I'm going to start by putting my beans in the blender with, and I'm going to cut the avocado. I didn't want to cut it before we had the class. I'm going to move the camera too so you guys can see me do this. That's just that's 2 cans. Great. All right. So let's look at my avocado. Avocados here in North Carolina obviously are not a native food, and I don't particularly like the avocados that we get here in North Carolina. They're just whatever. I try to go to the farmers markets. I think you guys have some really good markets up in Guilford County.
We do.
Yeah. So I usually get the better ones. It's hard to get good ones this time of year, obviously. But you want to try to get one that has a little bit of give to it.
Okay.
Rock hard. Let them sit out on the counter a day or two. They'll get soft. And then also make sure that the little end. I'm gonna try to get the camera to focus on that. The little end right here is not black or gray or anything like that. It should be either green or pretty light brown. If it's black or gray, chances are they've gone past their lightness. And I'm just going to go cut this around, and people have been known to cut their hands doing this, so I just kind of roll it, and you guys can't see me doing it.
Yep, that's good.
I need a camera. I need a cameraman with
me. You're doing a great job.
All right, so this one came apart pretty easy. Notice it. There's my pit. How many of you out there are growing avocado in your classroom or at home? Because you can just drop that over some water, and you can grow an avocado plant.
That's so neat. So you can try that at home. We can try that at home.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Just take a little cup of water, and what people do is they put toothpicks in this, or just sit. You just want that little
Out the ground.
This little end.
Okay.
In the water, you don't have to submerge it, and it'll grow. It'll grow.
Awesome.
All right, so I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to move this over here so you guys can see this. I put my beans in my food processor.
Okay.
I'm not going to do anything but just scoop this into here. And I think I got to add a few more things to it. See, and that just scoops out.
Okay.
Easy peasy. If you want to dice it, go ahead, feel free. Always dice it inside the shell.
Sometimes it's hard, when we're in the grocery store, it seems a little difficult trying to figure out the best way to pick out an avocado, but you made it seem so easy today.
Well, and if you're making this, it doesn't really matter. The hard ones are actually fine.
Okay.
But if you're making guacamole,
that's
a little different story.
Right.
So you want to make sure it's just got to have a little give to it. If they're too mushy, you'll feel it, and they're too mushy, don't buy those. But if they got just a little bit of give to it, I'd say go get it and try to use it that day or the
Okay.
next day. If they're hard, then you can wait on that a day. I'm going to add a little garlic, because I like it. Notice I haven't put any salt or anything here. I have a pinch of salt and a little bit of chili powder. Not
Okay.
much, that's just a pinch, kind of to wake it up. And then I have a little bit of avocado oil. I'm adding
Okay.
back that healthy fat. And then this is the zest, about a quarter tablespoon of lemon zest, and about a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons or a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice that I squeezed out last night.
Okay.
So I'm going to put all that in here together. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my volume off, because when this blender goes off, it freaks Zoom out.
Okay.
But I'll come right back to you here in just a
Okay.
second.
That sounds good.
All right. I think I can do that. Let's see if that works. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Good.
So we hope everyone is enjoying. We see we have some viewers on with us this morning. Let us know in the comments how you're enjoying the cooking class this morning with Chef John. We really appreciate you guys being on with us here, and we know it's lunchtime, so all of the recipes are looking really, really good. We are just really enjoying this presentation this morning, learning about some different recipes that you can try at home with your child or your children. All of these are very fun and simple recipes to try. So we hope that you will give them a try. We will post the link in our comments where you can find the recipes on our website, and we can have more information there. Thank you, Meredith, for being on with us this morning, and Trish. We really appreciate you. We know we have Angela watching with us this morning, and we appreciate her joining us this morning as well, and some others. So we really appreciate you guys sharing with us as we are learning how to cook at home with Chef John. We know we're spending more time at home with our families and trying to find different ways to cook different recipes instead of cooking the same thing over and over again, as it seems like sometimes we do. So we really appreciate Chef John joining us this morning, showing us some different activities. And that looks really good. I love the color.
Okay, so I'm back. Hopefully, you guys, I didn't blow anybody's ears out.
No, you're good.
So here's what we did. I just pureed that. Just, you could go even further if you want. The one thing I want to caution you in your blenders, the longer you cook things, it generates heat. So it starts to cook this stuff a little bit. So don't sit there and let it, don't go 10 minutes running it.
Right.
So I'm just going to pull this out, and I've made a nice spread. This is really nice. You could add a little salt to it if you want. I'm not going to. You could add some additional herbs to it. Herbs are the best thing to cook with over salt. I will get arguments from my chef friends about that, but you know what? I don't care. I cook the way I want to cook. All right, so I'm going to turn this back down toward my cutting board, because we're going to plate this up. All right, so we're going to make our wrap. And I got to make this one time for center directors. They had a staff meeting at CPCC, and they wanted lunch. And I actually made this for them.
Wow.
This is and they loved it. And I made you can make the big burritos. You can make this as a taco. A lot of ways. So I'm using low carb, whole wheat tortilla.
Okay.
Nothing much exotic about it. Nothing special. You can just buy it at the store. And then I'm just going to take my spread, and I'm just going to put some down in the middle, as much as I like. I like a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to build as we go. We're going to build our colors and our flavors.
That looks delicious.
And then we're going to just spread that around. That looks good.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab my spinach. I like to use, now if I were going to use lettuce, guys, I would just do lettuce. I like to use spinach, but I also like to break off the little nubby ends. So this will take a second. I did wash these while the blender was running. So I'm just going to lay out some spinach. Again, very healthy, a lot of iron. If you have young ladies in your center or in your family,
Yeah.
Iron is huge for them at about in that early age.
Right.
My daughter is a D1 athlete, and she is constantly battling her iron situation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is a problem with the young ladies, but everybody can
Right.
focus on it. So this is going now. I've got beans. The beans have good protein in it, no salt. I've got iron with my spinach. I've got good healthy fats with my avocado. And now I've got some colors going on. I'm going to go ahead and put my, oh, actually, the recipe says to mix these two together, which my purple cabbage and my
Right.
mix, and you can do that, but I'm just going to lay it on here just like this, just because I want to. And we'll just lay some of that on. Chef John, he don't read the recipes often. It's the first thing he tells people to do, read your recipe, and then he goes about doing it any way he wants to do it. So I'm going to put my red peppers on here. And then
Yeah.
I'm gonna sprinkle them. Now you can buy carrots already shredded, guys. And if that works for you, the little matchstick carrots, go ahead and use them. I like to shred my own simply
Okay.
because I get a little bit softer shred. And I think it works just better when you're doing wraps.
And the
But
colors are just beautiful
isn't
here,
that
Chef
great?
John.
Nice.
That's
So
beautiful.
I didn't work at Moe's, so I don't roll burritos really well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna roll this one.
Okay.
Get that out of the way. So, I need to get somebody who worked at Chipotle or worked at Moe's or somebody to do that for me. All right. And that's just a little wrap. Now, if you're making these for, like you said, for little kids, cut
Mm-hmm.
that in half. And that's what I'm going to do next. And then you probably get that's 2 servings.
Yeah.
Little kid doesn't need like a 0 to 5. You're
Right.
not going to eat a whole one. But you cut this on the diagonal. So I'm getting ready to do.
Okay.
And you're going to see the beautiful color.
This is just beautiful.
Okay. There we go. That is the purple power bean wrap. So,
Wow. Amazing.
there you go. All right, we're going to plate up our soup.
And this is something really fun for the kids, for the families to get in the kitchen and try this together and have the kids to maybe help with putting the vegetables down on the tortilla,
Absolutely.
and helping to build it together as a family. This is so nice. And look at that soup. Wow.
And with the soup, we're going to add a little green onion garnish on the top. Chef John don't like that food.
That looks delicious.
We're going to
Love
add
the
some
garnishing.
of our healthy Asian salad.
Wow.
Plate this up.
Oh, wow. The salad. Wow.
We'll sprinkle a few more sesame seeds on top.
That is beautiful.
All right. Well, welcome to lunch, guys.
Hey, that's right on time.
Yeah.
How beautiful is that lunch? I mean, we've got a beautiful wrap, the asparagus salad, and our soup. Chef John, you did a wonderful job.
Great. Thank you so much. I enjoyed having you here. These are great recipes. I really, really hope you'll try them. Not hard to do. I made this whole lunch in 20, including talking, in 35 minutes, almost 40 minutes.
And
If you want it, and you can scale this up. If you're working in a center, you can certainly scale that up.
yeah,
They do using number 10 cans of black beans and pumpkin. That's available. Asparagus comes in boxes.
okay,
Wraps, things like that are real easy to get. So it's not hard. The USDA, that wrap, as a matter of fact, is on the USDA website,
okay,
scaled out to like 50. So it'll tell you exactly how much ingredients you need to get to do 50 servings. Soup is just soup, just keep adding,
Yeah.
getting that. One of my best clients is a Head Start program in Charlotte,
Mm-hmm.
and I wrote her recipe. They didn't have a cooktop, um,
Oh.
and so they didn't have a cooktop. So we wrote them a recipe to make tomato soup, and they used their oven in a big hotel pan, and they made their tomato soup, and it was so good.
Wow.
I went in there one day just to stop by and said, Chef John, I've made you tomato soup. You want to try it? I went, absolutely. Look at me.
Yeah.
I don't turn down food. Uh, a bowl of this tomato soup, and I absolutely think it was better than any soup that I've ever had in a restaurant. It was just perfect. And she made it in a hotel pan in the oven. And so it can be done. It can be done. It just takes a little work. She had the grilled cheese on the top, and she had the
Mm-hmm.
tomato soup in the bottom in the hotel pan. Everybody know what a hotel pan is, right? It's just a
Yeah.
long aluminum pan, deep. It's about this deep. And she had an oven. She didn't have a cooktop. And so it was phenomenal. So I know there's challenges out there in the centers or even at home, but it's very easy to adapt. You just need to have a good heat source.
Mhm.
Really, you can do about anything with it. I haven't had a working oven since right after Thanksgiving in my
Wow.
brand new house, so I'm waiting on a part. But we've been eating just fine. My wife
Yeah.
got to go crazy. She wants an oven real bad. But I said, you know what? You got a griddle, and you got a grill, and you've got
Mm-hmm.
a cast iron skillet. So you can do just about anything that you want to do in that respect. So don't let not having what you thought you might need. I don't have anything fancy here as far as equipment goes. I buy all my ingredients at Food Lion or Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't go out and try to get real fancy stuff to do these recipes. Very healthy, very tasty. I can't see how anybody would not want to have this in their hand in their rotation for recipes. Any other questions, by the way?
We definitely have some kudos in the comment section from some of our viewers saying great session. Thanks for so clearly explaining and demonstrating.
Awesome.
We have someone says easy says the non-cook to make it healthy. So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
And
Please, if you're new to cooking, try
yes,
these recipes. Really.
absolutely.
I think one of the things that turn people off about healthy eating is they think it's hard. And it's
Right.
really, it's a little, it can be if you want to make it hard, but
Yeah.
doing these kinds of things, anything will go in a wrap, anything can go in a soup bowl. You can make a
Right.
salad out of just about anything.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to experiment. That's why I said early on with these recipes, make them your own. My taste isn't always going to be your taste, but
Right.
the framework is here. And
Mm-hmm.
ingredients, go to my Facebook page, ask me questions. The North Carolina Department of Agriculture has a great chart of what's in season in the state of North Carolina. We are the #1 producer of sweet potatoes. I can tell you 1,000 things you can do with a sweet potato. And they're healthy. They're a good source of vitamin C and D. Purple cabbage, anything that has a color to it is
Yeah.
really going to be better for you.
Right.
We ate the rainbow today. I mean, look at this.
Absolutely.
What we ate, everything with color.
Beautiful.
And then if you're a teacher, if you're a teacher in a center, associate fresh fruits and vegetables with the colors that you're teaching. So purple, yellow, green, yellow, red, green. What's my color today? Green. What can you think of that's green? And if you're taking your kids to the store and you go, what did you learn as your color today? Oh, it was blue. What foods can we find that are blue? Blueberries, right? Lots of colors like that. What did you have? You learned red today. There's apples, berries. There's all kinds of things. You want to try some cherries today. So those are the ways to introduce your young children into those concepts of fresh fruits and vegetables and eating.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you all again. If you don't have any more questions, I'll give you back some of your time. An hour I thought was going to be good, and we did it a little bit quicker, but that's okay.
Yeah, and you did such a phenomenal job. And I just want to just say, just thank you on behalf of our partnership here in Guilford County for your flexibility and willingness to teach us this morning. We have some wonderful comments in the comment section on Facebook from our viewers. And I know we have some other folks were watching with us that were texting me at the same time, just saying this is awesome, simple recipes, wonderful recipes. So we really appreciate you, Chef John. And where can folks find you on social media to get in contact with you?
Yeah, my Facebook page is Healthy Families, Healthy Futures, and it has my logo. This is my logo right here, the little vegetable hearts right at the top. There's another Facebook page that's from Canada that has the same name, and I've had to pull people in. But you'll see it. It just looks like my logo on the top. Looks like that. But
that sounds good. And I think there we go. And I think we've posted your Facebook page in the comment section. So those of you
sign up there for my newsletter. My newsletter comes out the first week of the month. I don't so you're not going to get spam from me. I only send it out once a month. And you get I usually have a recipe or some news about what's going on and with Healthy Families, Healthy Futures. And I try to highlight other programs, like Nourish NC or things like that are going on across the state. My whole goal is to make this a statewide visible program. And we're really working hard toward that. North Carolina Extension is very happy to see us come out and do this. And I have other classes. So if you're interested, I don't know if I ever sent you guys my course catalog, but I also have access to an early childhood education professor from UNC Charlotte. She jumps on Zoom with me when I need it. And then we do things like Dr. Zeus, Cooking with Dr. Zeus, or cooking with children authors like Eric Carl. And so we bring nutrition into the classroom through children's literature. And Pam is amazing with that. I also have a registered dietitian, Robin Illing, who's phenomenal. She's been my background person who says, yeah, this is nutritious, Chef John, or no, don't do that. Right. And so she's been really good about looking at the recipes that I write and helps me out tremendously. So I have a team of folks. We had a really great team back in Mecklenburg County, but they've stuck with me and they've said that, whatever I'm doing, they're on board. So, I have resources. So if you have a question, if I can't answer it, I'll find the answer.
Absolutely. We certainly appreciate you. And for those that are watching, Chef John is a wonderful resource. So as he said, go to his page, check out his website, sign up for that newsletter. He sends out wonderful information. I've joined and have just thoroughly enjoyed. And I just want to share just one of these last comments we have in our messages here that says, the more I cook, the more confident I am. And, just wanted to, just thinking about during this pandemic, how all of our parents and all of us have had to kind of think outside the box. We're trying to find meals to cook at home. For those with children, you're trying to find creative things. This was just a wonderful example of using different vegetables with various colors and using that with the children. So we hope you really enjoy this morning. And we hope to do more fun things like this in the future. Feel free to let us know again if you have any questions. We've also posted a link where you can give us some feedback this morning in our comment section here on Facebook. And again, thank you, Chef John, for taking out this time with us this morning. And we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. I hope you all did. Eat good food. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.